Now then, how you doing? So, Jesus. How you doing? You alright? I usually talk about how cold it is, and it's pretty nifty, and I haven't put my fire on because it's not that cold. There you go. That's what I'm going to talk about this evening / morning, depending on when you're watching it. But before I do that, massive shout out. So, club yesterday, let's just get that up. There's a video down there somewhere for the first vlog of the year, 7th of January 2023. I nearly said 22 then. And we've moved to the new venue, the Lawson Hut, and we had, I did quote that we'd had 31 in it, we're actually 32 in the end. 32, boys and girls, men and women, all crammed in it. Were like sardines in a tin can, but thoroughly enjoyed. And what an absolute cracking morning that was. And then second shout out is to, can't believe I'm saying it, Bob in Illinois. Bob in Illinois, who regularly comments on my videos. And he always signs off Bob from Illinois or Bob in Illinois. And then last week, ping, notification, friend request, Bob. And he just put, from your mate, Bob in Illinois. So accepted, obviously. And that's what I do. So just on top of that, actually, I will say, while I'm moving stuff about, I will say I am on Facebook. And I am under this title, Mark Andrews Model Vlog, or just Mark Andrews. Now, my Facebook is sort of categorised into two things only. One is family and one is modelling. I don't mind people coming on and being friends with me on Facebook. I ain't got a problem with that. But the majority of what you see on here is only a reflection on Facebook. So that's one. So if you think, oh, chuffing hell, I'll send him a friend's request, you're not missing out. I only put, piss-taking pictures of people and, things that's in current media, royal family and politicians and sports people and all that sort of stuff. I only put that on. Or I'll put pictures of kids on because it's like what I say on all my videos. The only reason that I do this is so that when I am in a box, dead and buried, 6 feet under, and my kids are very upset, whatever. Now, I'm sure there will be. I'm hoping that at some point they'll say to each other, put my dad on telly. And be able to listen to my velvet tones. I am using my second phone for this video, so before I carry on, just bear with me, because I am going to turn off all my notifications on this one, so that, there you go, notification, ring volume done, so that it doesn't start pinging. Back to business. Remember, it's the Revell BAE Hawk T2, and it's the one in 32. Kit number 038520379. Not that you need to know that because you'll look it up with pictures anyway. Starting off, let me just tell you. When I started this build, I've got my arms folded because it's cold. When I started this build, I'm just going to look through instructions. I'm putting instrument panel together and seats together and all that sort of stuff. And at first, for the first 2 or 3 days, it's honestly, if I could sort of categorise this build into a couple of songs, the first stage of it were like the Carpenters song, we've only just begun, look at me dancing. Do you know what I mean? It was lush as anything. Absolutely spot on. Bit of photo etching there and really, really dreamy. Everything went together so well. Stage 14, I am going to come back, stage 14, right through to, let me just have a look here, stage 18, where you put the engines in, was a little bit more raucous, I must say, but then you get down to stage 26, I'm a fire starter, because, poof, Jesus Christ. if you've got that kit in your stash and you like the look of it, it's first bit's all right until you get to the middle bit, and then after the middle bit, forget it, okay, because it will absolutely test you to the limit. And if you have built it and you're thinking, well, what's he on about? I didn't have any of them problems, let me know. Stage 1, it's really funny on stage 1 because you literally start up there looking top corner on instrument panel. And no drama. I mean, what's drama with that? A bit of photo etch on stage 2, 3 is putting it together, and then again, stage 4, your window. And it's sort of like, I've seen that, I saw that Airfix, I think it was the Airfix modelling programme last year where it showed you the guy who was doing and designing the instruction book and clicking things on and moving things around with his computer and one thing and another. And the guy that did this one must have been absolutely smacked off his tits, because why would you start there on number 1 on that instrument piece, and then number 4 inserting that bird smash window into your canopy? I mean, what's going off there, mate? Stage 5 is seats, 1, 2, 3, 4 piece of fare, a little bit of photo etch, and actually they turned out all right, albeit my painting were an absolute atrocious attempt. Stage 9, photo etch belts. Now again, that threw me, because stage 8 down at bottom, if I just hold it up there, you can sort of see it's giving you one, configuration of seat belts. I think it's stage 6. Where's my camera? Stage 6. Oh, this one, it's giving you one configuration of seat belts there, which obviously that's what I started to do, because I'm, in the main you follow instructions, don't you? But then on stage 9, it's giving you an alternative up here to put some long seat belts in. And I'm like, well, which one is it? And actually I went with stage 9, because they looked a lot better. Stage 10, 2 seats into your office, which you have painted, glossed and deckled, and you do get decals with it. Stage 11, your back seating. 12 is your bulkhead, and 13 you start putting your intakes in. Now, I have made this kit before, but I haven't. If you look further down my videos, you will see that I did a commission build. It must have been when I were on lockdown, so that's 2019, 2020. And I did it as a commission for Dave, who had the opportunity to actually fly in the Hawk round Valley, round the Mac Loop. And, I even watched that video back the other day, and I'm thinking, I can't see there's any places where I've said, this is bad, this is shit, there's no to that. I didn't really go into the actual build sequence of it, which is what I want to do now. 13 and 14 intakes. And again, up to press, you're looking, you're not too bad. 15 exhaust. 16's a couple of little cowling fairings on top of top part. 17. Now on 17 there, you can see that big yellow sign there that says what? Do not glow, okay? And admittedly, it takes a big boy. You have to put your big pants on sometimes and admit when you're wrong. Everybody makes mistakes, okay? I think I made one once. But stage 17, do not glow. What do I do? Glue it. Stage 18 is the other side, and again, it's the swan neck intakes. Do not glow. What did I do? Glue it. Now, a part of that, you're sort of looking at it and thinking, well, I've got to glue this, because if I don't, it's not going to be able to sit correctly for me to put the two fuselage sides together. Because if you're looking straight down fuselage, you've got two parts that marry up there and then coming towards me, towards the front. So they're there, and then they come like this, and then they break off like that, and they actually turn into your air intakes. But the part that you glue is not here, it's there. And it's the two tabs at the side. Because if you're holding the kit on its side, then obviously to put the top side on like that, that fuselage, that pipe that you've got in there, it's just going to dangle down. It's just going to be like that. So a touch of glue, but that's where it started to go a little bit tits up. Okay. Stage 19, slip your office in, no problem. Good locating tabs on that. And then stage 20 is putting those two fuselage sides together. Okay. Stage 21 is where it became an absolute ball ache. You've got two fuselage sides together, and when you turn it upside down, there's a massive void. You don't worry about that because your wing sits on top of that, so that when you turn it that way, obviously your wing's underneath, right? But you've got to put your cowlings on for your air intakes now. When it says stage 21, put them on. That's when you've got to put them on. But talk about square peg and round hole. So you've got your bird here, okay, and outside is facing me, and you've got your tiny little cowling, and you offer it up, and you think, that's never been right. Why is there a full... it's hard to judge, isn't it? I didn't get my tape measure out. In fact, I'll tell you how wide it is. I could fit a toothpick in between the two parts. Now, I'm going to use my Phantom that I can't wait to start painting as a guide. So this part. So imagine that the wing's not on. And this front part where your air intake is. When you married that up to that, I could literally fit a toothpick. Let me do it that way. I could literally fit a toothpick in the gap. When you turn it upside down, the gap that's here was even worse. And the best thing, well, what I did was I walked away. The best thing that you can do sometimes is, instead of trying and trying and trying, walk away. And I walked away for a day. And you've got to accept that there's a certain amount of self-mentality, if you will, that if it's not going right, you've got to walk away. Because if you don't, if you keep trying and forcing, and you can hear and feel plastic creaking and cracking, and I'm sure that you've all had kits like that in past. And actually what it is something's gone wrong down the line. And at this point, don't forget, I'd not realised what it was. But something's gone wrong a little bit further back down the line, and you're thinking, that's not right. And you check your instructions and you look in, and yeah, according to instructions, stage 21, that should literally, where's 21? It's there. Those cowlings, they should just literally go in, shouldn't they? Just fit onto the side. How much of a nightmare does that look? And it's not. And I checked my top seam and I checked my bottom seam, and they were fine. Obviously a bit of sanding and filling, but that's what we're here for. But they're married together right. And I just could not get my head around it. So we'll call that Monday. Walk away. Tuesday, came back, went to work, came back, had a look. Maybe I've dreamt it. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I've dreamt it. Come sit in your bench, kettle on, fag on, go. Here we go. Right, cowling. Nah. And seriously, like, you've got cowling in one hand, aircraft in the other, and you just feel like going, oh, you can cough like that. And I'm sure I'm not the first. However, I'm 52 next week, and with age comes patience, or as in my case, because I'm pretty damn sure that if I were 25, 30 and I'd have come across that problem, I would have literally just gone over, got my hammer and gone, do you know what? You can fuck right off because I've had enough of this shit. But when you start to go, it's the kit, it's the manufacturer, it's how it's been engineered, and you're literally clinging and looking for an excuse, if you will, what's going wrong. Now, I get that some kits are really old and you don't sort of get that kind of fit. But on this particular kit, no matter how old it is, it looks, you know, the plastic's good, the instructions are all right, although they're a bit, okay, but you would expect it to go together. And you've got to stop looking up here at things that have made it go wrong, and you've got to start looking here. Not me, I haven't made your kit go wrong, right? You make your kit go wrong. I make my own kits go wrong, all right? So, back to the drawing board. Now, if I offer stage 21 up again, right, okay, I'm hoping it focuses. And you can see, now it's focused, you can see that void there, can't you? And can you see what I mean with the intakes? So the swan out, one comes here like that, and then this one goes down other side like that. It's like a swan neck. And they both come together there. And in there, there's the lug that it's glued, and obviously there's one on this side as well. So it got to the stage where I'm like treating it like a wishbone, like a turkey chicken sort of wishbone, if you will. And I'm offering this cowling up. And I've been on to about this cowling now, and for about 4 minutes, so it must be shit. And I'm looking and I'm thinking, what I need to do is I need to push the cowling further down, but also push it underneath and push it in from side. But that's making a void at top, so I need to sort of try and manipulate it, if I will, to try and compromise, that's the word, try and compromise the best fit that ain't going to take a full tube of filler. And I know that the most important gap for me is the side and the top. And why is that? Well, because once the bird's there, that's what you can see. And when you're taking photographs of what you've done, unless you actually turn it upside down and point it out and go, that's shit, nobody's ever going to know. But I'm true to myself. However, I'm true to myself to the point that I'm thinking, that's still not good enough. That's still not good enough, right? True to myself. I know I'm going to do a video on this kit and I can't lie about how good it is, because at the start of it, once I got right up to stage 16, I am not kidding, I'm thinking this is another one of Revell's hidden gems. Maybe they ought to just rub stage 21 out of the book. So I'm manipulating these cowlings and I'm looking, and long story short, that was long, wasn't it? Long story short, I sort of figured out that because I glued those two parts on, happens that that's what's hindering the process of being able to crack this wishbone, if you will, to manipulate it, to give it a little bit of side play into moving around into the air intakes position that I needed to do. So I'm out with big pair of scissors, I'm pouring it in, I'm like, oh, I didn't do it. Oh, it's like a goddamn operation. And then you get to a point, don't you? You've got something in and it's like, and I don't look, and I look. I've got away with it. I haven't snapped anything. So I've done one side, and I had only actually put a little bit of tet in. So I've done one side, so I've done other. I've come to sort of remarry it back up, and it went a lot better. So you'd say, well, how can you sort of put this kit to bottom at pile, Mark, when actually, if you'd have followed the instructions, you doofus, and not glued those in, you wouldn't have come across those problems. But I can honestly tell you now that as a bloke talking to my audience, which is 99% blokes, some people don't even use instructions, period. You know, some people just literally cut all the parts off the sprues, toss them in a bag and have a go. And those two parts that go into the side of the fuselage, it sort of draws you into saying, glue me. So that's what I did. Stage 23, you are making a little bit of undercarriage. Where are we? We're here. So stage 23, we're putting a little bit of housing round on both sides, which went all right. That's not too bad at all. Stage 25 is putting the top sections of your wing onto the lower sections. And then once you've done that, stage 26, is it in the middle? It's this side. Stage 26, there, look, it's marrying it all together. When you come to marry it all together, get ready, because there's not really a great deal of mating surface. You do need some really good glue in there. And again, it's square peg round hole, because you put it on and there's a gap at the back. Move it up to the front. No, move it down to the back. There's a gap at front. It sort of does that. It's like a pair of handlebars on a bike. It's, you know, when you're riding a bike when you're a kid and you fall off it and then you get back up and your handlebars are like that. And it's no drama, is it? You can still ride it home, but by the time you've got on it and ridden sort of 10 foot, you feel pissed up. Well, it was like that with this wing thing. It just wouldn't sort of marry up properly. However, it did in the end, because you have to find a compromise. Stage 28 is adding a couple of little stabilisers onto the back. 29 is rear fins. 30 is air brake at the bottom in the open or closed position. If it's in the box, it's going on, so it's open. 31 is wheels. 32 is undercarriage legs for your port and starboard. And 34 attaching those on. And again, a seasoned builder will be like, nah, not putting them on yet. I need to paint all inside that. I need to mask it off. I need to paint the bird, mask it off, and then paint inside a white or a light grey or whatever. And 35's other side. 36, 37, all undercarriage. 38 is showing you if you want to have your front undercarriage door in open or closed positions. 49, nice touch. 40, apologies. 40 down at bottom, nice touch, flaps down, which were all right. 41 is flaps open, they have put the big question mark on there. 42, there's a massive fuel tank that goes underneath, that's its on. 44 is massively out of sequence, because that's that top cowling that's got the two little cowlings on top. That should have gone on well before then. 45 is putting your braces onto your wings, and again, could have done that ages ago. There's not many to go now because I'm nearly onto colours. 46, canopy. 47 is, are you having your canopy open or closed? 48 is all your little attachments, same as 49. 50, stage 50 pitot tube. Like I said, I managed to build it and literally had it on my bench for about 2 weeks. And that pitot tube never murmured. Coming to finish it off, where's my fucking pitot tube gone? Snapped it off. I've had to glue it back on. 51 attachments, 52 missiles. And again, it says that you have to remove the fins for the training pod. 53 attachments, 4 attachments, 5 attachments, all attachments, da-di-da. Missiles on, job's done. I would love to see a manufacturer, I think Zuki do it, because I have built a Zuki. I would love to see a manufacturer actually print an instruction guide out in proper sequence, as in, you know that when you're building a kit and it always starts with seats, it'll give you your number sprue call out, D34 and D35, and then in a yellow circle, white circle, whatever, it tells you what colours they are. But I would love to see that further down the kit, so that once you have sprayed inside your office, and this is for like a new builder, you need to paint inside this, then put that on, then you need to do, and actually build it in a correct sequence. I wonder how long it's gonna be. What's the date today? 8th of January 2023. I wonder how long it's gonna be, because I've never seen one where the manufacturer says you're not getting a kit guide, a build guide in your box. If you want to see the actual step-by-step building process, including building it, painting it, adding decals if necessary, like onto seats and things, log on to YouTube and hit this link and da-di-da. And it's a 50-minute video, a 30-minute video where it shows you step-by-step on how to actually build it. Not that I need it, I'm talking about if you're brand new, obviously. Stage 56, the tail art on this one is from the BAE Hawk T2 number 4 Squadron, Royal Air Force, Valley, Wales, May 2016. Or I could have gone for the same bird 25 Squadron from Valley in Wales from March 2020. And I did go with the number 4 Squadron because it's got the big red fin flash for the anniversary. And I'm just looking, and even though I finished it, I can't believe this, I'm going to actually have to take it back out of the cabinet, because I have literally just realised that on the fin flash, you can't see it there. Where's my toothpick? On the fin flash, I think up down here somewhere, is it, whether it's this way or this way, there's actually a high vis stripe to go on it, and luckily I've still got it. Do you know what? I must admit, I'm walking through, but once I finish the build, I sort of start back on page 1 and I start looking through and through and through, yeah, to make sure that I haven't missed anything. And do you know what? I did the entire catalogue this afternoon before I started taking photos, and I'm like, yeah, tick the box, tick the box, tick the box. And I did not look at the decals, because if I'd have followed that through, I'd have gone, oh, Mark, you forgot them too. So, pictures. Maybe I've put some up already, I don't know. Stage 1 to 16 is slightly out of sequence. Stage 16 is when it starts getting tasty. If you've got the kit in your stash, do not glue those intakes in, or if you do, use a little bit of PVA, not super glue or anything like that, right? Don't go fucking welding it in with some of that black glue and a, you know, accelerator. Don't be doing any of that, because you've no chance. Once I got past the air intakes in the wing area sort of problem, walk away, come back, walk away, come back. Actually, it was a Monday. We'll say it was Monday. I think by the time I'd actually sussed it out in my head that it was my error and that I'd had to crack those 2 pipes, I think it was about Thursday. That's how long I've come to appreciate how long I have to walk away for. Don't be bamboozled, don't be fooled, right, when you see the shortened, edited, sequenced videos that you see on YouTube, right? Don't be fooled by thinking to yourself, how does he do that so easily, so quickly? How does he do that without any faults? How does he do that so effortlessly? I'm telling you now, it's bollocks, right? Okay. We all sit in our caves, in our bedrooms, in our living rooms, and we all encounter our own individual problems with the kit, whether we've got an instruction in front of us or whatever. I will tell you how it is. I made a mistake on those intakes. Would I build it again and, you know, not do that? Well, I wouldn't actually, no. And not because I've built it before. It's because, in my opinion, I've done 2. And I don't think I've got... I won't want to spend another 20 quid. It running 20 quid. I won't want to spend another 20 quid to prove myself right, if that makes sense. You watch, I'll buy another one. Right. Because I was actually toying with the idea of going with a camo on this bird, but got better of me. Sanding and filling is standard on the kit. Flash. Yeah, there's a little bit of flash. Okay. How far do you want to go with ejector pin marks on intakes where the actual intake itself is probably less than a centimetre wide and probably maybe a centimetre tall. And when you've got ejector pin marks that are halfway down and towards the back end, how far do you want to go? I went as far as painting it, putting it together, holding the cowling up, looking down it, shining a torch up on it, holding it up to the moon, absolutely everything. Couldn't see him. So for stuff like that, it's like, nah, forget it. Little bit of flash, but nothing, absolutely nothing at all to worry about. Couple of ejector pin marks that are in obvious places, undercarriage bay. And again, if you held it, if you look underneath it, you'll see one ejector pin mark. But there's a lot of ribbing in that undercarriage bay. And you're a better man than me if you can put a little bit of filler in that and then sand it smooth. And some of my sanding sticks, I'm not kidding, they're literally half a centimetre long. It's a little piece of paper, and I'm looking like this with my glasses on, trying to get it right. So there's certain things that either I'll omit out of a kit. Okay, I'm not that anal about it. So building it after the atrocity of what happened, yeah, cracked on. Then it's a matter of priming it. Now, because it's just a black bird, there's no point in pre-shading it, painting it grey, lining it in black or anything like that, because it's a valley bird, and I know that the people down there keep their machines absolutely pristine. So it was just black. It was a black MRP primer because it's as fine as fairy dust, and it really goes down so effortlessly. And then on top of that, I put MRP 007.1, 007.2. If you have to look that up on Google or whatever, you'll see one's a paint and one's a hardener. Into your airbrush cup, whatever that goes in, blow it back. I'll probably get some stick over that. Blow it back to mix it up, and away you go. And it's a high gloss black, and it sets absolutely rock solid. Decals, I thought I might have had a bit of an issue with, especially on the tail. Normally what you'll find on a kit like that, any kit like that, is the tail, especially if it's a full tail decal, it'll be slightly out of shape, slightly oversized, it might need a little trim, etc, etc. But I trusted my instincts on this one, and I thought a bit of sol and a bit of set and a bit of sol, get it right way around. And it'll crinkle up and it'll shrink it on, and it did do. So there's no need to trim it. And then all your little attachments, again, you can leave them off till last. Didn't need any nose weight. I have got both missiles on it. I have got the fuel tank on it. Decals, all the little white stencils, they all look really, really classy against the high gloss black. And I'm hoping that I've already started, or I am putting pictures up now. Look really, really classy. A bit of sort of gunmetal around your exhaust. White undercarriage in there, white undercarriage in your bay doors. Rest of it is gloss black, deckled up. I did not put a gloss on once I'd finished it, because obviously it's a high gloss black from MRP and it doesn't need it. The decals were actually the best part of this kit. Set and sol, straight down, crinkling up, and they literally against that paint as well. I mean, I'm not. It might have not worked against a Vallejo black or a Tamiya black. I don't know. But all the backing, you can't see the backing on it all. The look absolutely pucker, absolutely pucker. I got the kit from Jadlam because it was 25 quid. They got a Black Friday sale on, I think it was. And they reduced it down from 36 to 25, and then I got a £5 off voucher, so I actually paid £19.99 for it. For a 1 in 32 bird, you'd go, yeah, I'll take that. I'll have a bash. I don't really care what Mark says. I've watched his video, and I'm not that dumb that I will glue those parts in. Now I've watched him and say, don't do that. You're going to trip yourself up. I'll have a bash for 20 quid, 25 quid. And you know what? Kudos to you. Fill your boots. Fill your boots. Okay. Would I build it again? Most definitely not. I have done with Hawks. And I do know that Paul, and I know that you're watching it, mate. I know that Paul in the Wirral, let's get that bit right, is looking for a 1 in 32 red arrow. Okay. So that covers that build, I think. Maybe. I don't know. What's up next? Well, I've got an F4 Phantom in front of me that you can see. It's a 1 in 32 bird. It's absolutely enormous. And I am going to sort of frighten a few people, including myself, because it's, I think it's an E version, or it might even be an F version. And I did order some gorgeous decals, which came, and they do look absolutely lush. Okay, certainly liking this scheme. And what else have I got? I've got look at that scheme there, absolutely stunning. And Tiger's not really selling it for me, but this one certainly is, and this one certainly is. But you will also see what's across the top, Turkish markings, because that's what it is. However, for this particular build, I am literally saying I am not building it with anybody else in mind but myself, and that might sound a bit daft, because when I build, I run the YouTube channel, and I have to get it, you know, pretty close, don't I? All right, I suppose in one respect. But for this one is for me, right? Well, why am I labouring on about that? Because you can see that they are two-tone grey. However, doing a little bit of research, a little bit of Googling on my dinner time, and I'm looking at F4Fs and F4Es, and the colours that absolutely smack me in the face are the Kai colours. The Samurai Kai colours. That's a Japanese F4 Phantom, if you didn't know. And their colour scheme is blue. It's a light, not a light blue, it's a royal blue, a dark blue, and a lighter blue. MRP 295, and if you buy that, it comes in a 2-bottle set in a little box. So I'm literally going to, I am going to butcher an F4, 1 in 32 F4, that looks absolutely great as it is, with all my marbling on, top and bottom. Right, okay, because I can do that, because the MRP is thin enough. I am going to butcher that Phantom and do it in Kai colours, K-A-I, Kai colours, Samurai, last Samurai colours with Turkish markings. How wrong is that, right? Yeah, it's pretty wrong, isn't it? It's pretty wrong. But I don't care. This one's for me, right? And I want a blue Phantom in my cabinet. I want a Kai Phantom, and I ain't got any Japanese markings, and I can't find any Japanese markings either. So it'll do, crew. All right. What's the date today? 8th of January. So in 14 days' time, that's 2 weeks today, actually. In 2 weeks' time, I will be hitting Bolton show, IPMS Bolton. And it's at the football stadium. It's at Bolton Football Stadium. Now, it has changed sponsorship over the year, I think. I'm not sure, but it might now be called the Macron. I can't remember. But there's myself and 18 boys and girls from Sesco and Emsworth Community Scale Model Club, and we're going to go down for the day. Standard operating procedure, up at crack of dawn, picking everybody up, Mackie D's, down to the stadium, setting up and talking to anybody that comes and sees me. And the guys from the club, because we've got 4 tables, so we're going to fill it. We're absolutely going to fill it. Okay. And I'm taking some sprawlers down because I've got a couple of commissioned sprawlers to make now as well. So we'll be there all day. And then I think it's a month, exactly 1 month after that, we will be at the Leeds Armouries show, which is the IPMS Wakefield, Halifax / Huddersfield, now / Leeds show. We'll be in there as well, chatting away with everybody that comes and sees us. I think that just about wraps it up. Christmas come and gone. Blackbird done. Phantom next. Back at work tomorrow. Who knows how that's going to turn out. Thanks for watching as usual. Stay safe, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed it and listening to me waffle on again. Thanks a lot. Catch you later. Cheers.